If you've been following along with my videos, you'll know that I am in a product design internship right now with UX Cabin, and I have these weekly updates, and this is week 7, which was all about group work, affinity mapping, and if you don't know what that is, that's essentially what you do after you run user interviews and you're trying to gather together all of the data that you've collected, all of the quotes, all of the thoughts and opinions that people offered during their interviews, and you're basically trying to sort through them. So if you're interested in hearing more about week 7, as well as hearing about a tip and shared resource for you guys, then stay tuned and keep watching. Hi everybody, welcome back. As you know, my name's Karen and I am a product design intern trying to really break in to the world of UX design as a career for myself. For week 7 of the internship, we did affinity mapping as a group. So all of the interns, so there's about 4 of us, got together after we conducted our user interviews from last week for the project we're doing, and we essentially had to sort through everything. And I'm gonna walk you through the general process of how to do that. So step 1, everybody writes down their notes onto sticky notes. So these notes can be quotes, they can be thoughts or opinions that people shared during their interviews. It's good to have a good mixture of quotes and notes because then it gives you more perspective, and sometimes quotes can be more powerful when you are kind of trying to sift through everything to figure out what everything means. Step 2, after everybody's done putting all of their notes in one place, now you all have the task of grouping things together. Step 3, after you've grouped things together, now you are responsible for figuring out how to label each group. You want to put either a sentence or a word to kind of summarize what that group means. Step 4, you're basically going to trim the fat. So you're going to look through all of your different sticky notes for maybe outliers, get rid of it. Things that don't seem very valuable or just a thought, had nothing really to do with your project, get rid of it. Step 5, this is where you start to vote. So all of the members of your team are going to vote on the sticky notes and the groupings that are the most important in your eyes. So everyone votes separately. In the end, majority wins. And the last step is you're pretty much going through the voted categories that you had and trying to come up with main themes and takeaways based off of what you guys voted on. So essentially you should end up with maybe like 3 major themes, 3 major takeaways and thoughts. What were their major concerns in the interview? What was something that people repeatedly brought up? And that's pretty much how you do affinity mapping, guys. My tip of the week has specifically to do with affinity mapping, and it was provided by Jean, the UX researcher that was basically mentoring all of us through this whole process. And her advice was, when you are making affinity maps and writing down your notes and takeaways on a sticky note, it is actually best to do it on a physical sticky note because you're limited within a certain boundary of the size of the sticky note, and so you can't write like paragraphs. And that's one of the problems with working on digital platforms like Miro and FigJam, is that you can just endlessly type, and apparently with affinity mapping you don't want to do that. So my tip for you is to either use physical sticky notes or to have some sort of maximum in terms of like word count or something when you are working on a digital platform, just so that you don't get carried away. And it makes it easier when you are, as a group, looking through all the sticky notes and deciding what you like and don't like, because everything's shorter, more efficient, and you don't have to spend like ages reading everything on the note. I'm going to share a link down below. It's actually an article that I came across, and it is all about how to bundle and group together all of your affinity notes so that you can move through the different stages of the affinity mapping exercise. So good luck, you guys! And if you're wondering what the point of this is, well, you could be using affinity maps for a lot of things, but one of the main things that you use it for is to inform your personas when you're actually creating them. You use these affinity maps to figure out like what is the main thing that the users tend to want or struggle with, and that is what you should use to write your persona. Alright, you guys, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. I will give you an update for week 8 very soon, and I will also post a video on auto layout because auto layout can be such a mindfuck, and I think this will help make things easier. Alright, bye guys!